I had an opportunity to sit down with Cowboys co-owner Charlotte Jones to discuss a push to legalize online sports betting in Texas. Proponents say it could generate up to $650 million in revenue the first 5 years in Texas. But Charlotte Jones says she is most concerned that as it is now, unregulated and unauthorized betting apps are leaving underage Texas residents vulnerable. I grew up a Cowboys fan, okay? I grew up in Texas. Texas has so many advantages over Pennsylvania, in my opinion.
Yes.
But is there one thing that Pennsylvania might have over Texas?
Well, in this case, there actually is just one and only one, but it actually is a really big thing. And they actually have legalized sports gambling. And for most of us, that may not grab our attention. But what is really important for us to understand is, why should it grab our attention? And I think that really leads into two really major points for us. Is one, in the last 5 years since they've had it, they've raised over $640 million in taxes because they were able to regulate gambling. And with that money, that's a lot of money. And with that money, they've been able to infuse that back into the community. And think about that, if we had that money here in Texas, what that could mean for so many things for us that are important to Texans.
Yeah. And so how many states have legalized sports betting?
38 states have it, and also DC. And this is just since Congress actually gave it the authority to the states to decide if each state would be legalized. So the voters of each state can determine their own fate. And since then, the 38 states have come on. So we're just one of a few that are hanging on and being a little resistant and stubborn to this effort.
So where does it stand in Texas right now?
Well, right now, last session, actually, the House passed a bill that would give the opinion to the voters and let us Texans decide if we should have it or not. But it stalled in the Senate. So we're hoping to get back in there and really just bring this to the voters, because it's our decision as Texans how we think our state should be regulated. And in this case, when we're usually against regulation, this is about the safety of our kids, the safety of our teenagers, and this is why we need this regulation now.
And so an organization like the Cowboys and other professional sports teams in Texas, they've all are saying, just like you, that this needs to happen. Why is it? What's the motivation for professional sports organizations to stand behind getting this done?
Yeah, well, the benefit of the regulation with the taxes is one thing, which will bring millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to our state. But I actually think, as a mom, the thing that is most important is that there is gambling happening in our state right now anyway. And there are actually apps that are targeting our kids, our college kids, they're targeting our high school kids, and they're going direct to them in this black market and allowing them to participate in this gambling where they don't have to prove their age and they don't have to verify anything, and then they find themselves in a trap that they cannot get out of. And so not only is there no tax income off of this gambling, most importantly, they're getting taken advantage of in these actual apps that are set up offshore that are really targeting our kids and making it unsafe for them to actually participate, but honestly, to engage them in the participation. So we really want to make that legal. We want to put the restrictions around that so our kids can become safe in this space.
What kind of reaction do you get from other moms and dads when you tell them this is what is going on?
Well, most of them say, "Oh, my child doesn't bet." Unfortunately, this is happening everywhere. And for us to have a naive look at it, as parents, we need to have a voice for our children and for our older kids that they need some help. They need some help on how to regulate themselves, but more importantly, they need the state to come in and take out the bad actors and let all of that take place within our state, and then also let the capture of those revenues go to benefit our communities.
What does it mean to the integrity of the sport, integrity of the NFL, and all the franchises to get this under control?
Well, I think that's actually our most important thing. Our fans enjoy the engagement in our game, in their team's game, and all the teams' games across of the spectrum of the NFL. but it's super important that integrity is the first thing that we look at with the league. Not only do we want to make sure that the game is structured in the right way and that we don't have any situation where it influences the game to a negative, but also we just want our fans to be able to have the enjoyment of participating should they want to, and do so in a safe and regulated environment.
So how interested do you think Texans are in legalized online sports betting?
Well, I think there's a lot of interest out there, actually. And I think just the engagement and the enthusiasm that people have for their team is there, and they want to participate. I don't think most Texans actually understand that there's a risk already in our community, and that we need to do everything we can to mitigate that risk and to come in and let the state actually help us out.
Have you been amazed over the years what even like fantasy football has done for the popularity of the sport?
You know, it is amazing. And we love that. We love that people are Cowboys fans, but we actually love that people engage and they become player fans that way. And they've got their teams, they've got players all over the league. That makes them interested in every game. And they hang on to the last second to see if that last touchdown was scored. And whether they're actually betting in this atmosphere, or they're simply betting for the bragging rights to walk down, the hallways at school. This is a part of fan engagement. It's a part of our society, and it's very incumbent upon us to make sure that it's done the right way.
But the biggest benefit, though, for the Cowboys or any team is the sponsorship element, I guess. With these
well,
companies.
clearly, we enjoy a benefit from our sponsors like DraftKings or others, but for us, it's really about offering a fan engagement opportunity. And so our fans are curious. They want to know, they're interested in every play, they're interested in what the outcome of every play is going to be, and so they're attuned to not only our game, but all the games around the league. So we want to make sure that we can offer that to them, that we do so in a safe and secure way, and that it is regulated in a way that protects the downside of that and protects the risk, but also protects our kids to make sure that they're safe in this atmosphere.